Hey guys, Bob here from anaerobics.com, and I'm going to tell you to walk away from the 99%. Now, some of you may recognize this. You may recognize that this is like a play on words because there's a motivational speaker called Jim Rohn who had a very famous speech about walk away from the 99%. And the reason why I'm doing this is this video is because it reminded me of a comment somebody made on my Instagram, okay, a while ago about being normal. And I posted, basically, I went out with my girlfriend, my mother, and her new husband. And I think it was around Christmas. So we went out for like an early Christmas dinner. And it was basically like a lunch at a steakhouse somewhere. And what I did was I brought my chicken that I was eating for the diet I was on in a Tupperware. So I sat, drank a cup of coffee, drank some water with them, and then when I went out to the car, I ate the chicken out of the Tupperware. And somebody's like, well, why didn't you just go ahead and order something, you know, some kind of meat or something? You don't know what it's cooked in, but at least you could eat with your family and be a little bit normal. And, you know, this still kind of irks me, okay? That was, you know, from, December, obviously, it was before Christmas, and it still kind of irks me. I'm not saying that I'm mad at this person or I think he's a bad person, but, you know, just the whole concept of people wanting to appear normal, okay? So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about normal Americans. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. The fact of the matter is 70% of Americans are either obese or overweight, okay, medically obese or medically overweight. So that means that if you want to be normal, you need to be medically obese or medically overweight. I don't want to be normal, okay? Another thing that I just looked up today is 73% of Americans in 2018 had debt, okay? And we're talking about non-mortgage debt. We're not talking about like you buy a house or you invest in something that you're going to make money on. We're talking about liabilities, okay, not investments. 73% of Americans in 2018 had debt, okay, non-mortgage debt, and the average was $38,000 of debt. So that means that if you want to be normal, you have to have $38,000 of debt that is costing you. It's a liability. You're never going to get any money out of it. Non-mortgage debt, okay? Or you're not going to be normal. Most marriages fail. Most marriages that don't fail, you know, the people are unhappy. So basically, to be normal, you have to be unhappy in your relationship. Okay, most people, like I think it was 2% of Americans have PhDs. So if you want to have a PhD, can't be normal. You got to give up normal if you want to have a PhD. Okay, 1% of the people in the world, or less than 1% of the people in the world, are millionaires. The less than 1% of the people in the world who are millionaires own over as much as 46% of the rest of the population of the world. So what we're basically talking about is if you want to be normal, you have to be fat, unhappy in your relationship until it ends in a divorce, $38,000 in debt, uneducated, for you to be normal. Now, the good thing is, let's get into some semantics here, because the facts of the matter is, normal is it's not a real thing. Normal is something that you make up in your own mind. So when I say it's normal to be in debt, normal to have a divorce, normal, what I'm saying is statistically significant number of people have this outcome or are in this situation, okay? It's not normal, okay? Normal is whatever you choose to be normal. So if you choose that normal means you have to eat whatever everybody else is eating at dinner, then that's your normal. But for me, it's normal to stay on whatever diet and not to allow other people to affect the way that I eat or the way that I live. So it's normal for me. 2 years in a row, girlfriend and I went to the TPC, the Players Classic. It's a big golf tournament, Tiger Woods level kind of thing. He's there every year down here in Florida. 2 years in a row, I brought little baggies with chicken and almonds in it, okay? Because that's the diet I just happened to be doing at the time. And, you know, Everything had to be in a plastic bag for like terrorist security reasons. So I just put bags of chicken, carried them around all day, ate them. Okay, that for me is normal. Okay, it is not normal for me to have to change my life to fit somebody else. Okay, you could put me in a room with 99 people and I could be the 100th person, and if 99% of those people are fat as fuck and never ever work out, it doesn't change the fact that for me it's normal to get up at 4:46 in the morning to be in the gym by 6 working out every morning 6 days a week. Okay, doesn't change that, because like I said, normal is not the same as, statistically significant. Okay, because I make it up. So this is basically what I invite you to do. I invite you, as Jim Rohn would say, to walk away from the 99%. Okay, I would invite you to do the exact opposite of what the 99% of the people in the world are doing. I would like to invite you to do whatever you think is normal. As a matter of fact, I'd like you to do what you want normal to be. So if normal for you means having a hot girlfriend, then I guess that's normal. Okay, if normal for you means making a minimum of $100 or $200 or $300 or $500,000 a year, I guess that's normal for you. Okay, it's all up to you. Don't let anybody else tell you what normal is, and I'm going to tell you why. The fact of the matter is, if you're in a situation where somebody else says normal is eating a bunch of rubbish and getting fat as fuck, and you were to tell them, listen, I'm not going to hang out with you unless you eat whatever's on my diet, unless you eat chicken and almonds, unless you eat steak and eggs, unless you eat chicken and rice, whatever diet you're on, they can't hang out with you, and they will flip the fuck out. So why is it that in this attempt to be normal, people who supposedly are trying to be healthy and trying to get the most out of life are lowering their own values? Okay, they're giving up their own decisions to allow other people's decisions to influence them. So the next time that you think normal, like I said, unless you're $38,000 in debt, unless you're a divorced person who was unhappy before they got divorced, unless you don't have a PhD, unless you're obese or overweight, you're not normal. Okay? And then think to yourself, do you really want to be normal? And the fact of the matter is, one of the ways in which I'm not normal is that I'm always on low-carb diets, whether I'm cutting or I'm bulking. So that means, yes, a lot of people drop their carbs and they get very lean, or they get very lean very quickly by going on a low-carb diet. But I do the same thing when I bulk. When I'm trying to gain weight, when I'm trying to gain muscle, gain strength, I stay on low carbs too. I like the way the food tastes. I feel that I can eat more and actually get stronger and actually build more muscle without having to worry about building up any extra layers of fat, because calories in versus calories out is important. You can get fat on low carbs. I'm a very big proponent of the fact that you can in fact get fat on low carbs. I'm not saying you cannot, but it's easier to get fat if you're eating a lot of carbs, especially a lot of sugar. It's easier to overeat if you're eating a lot of carbs, eating a lot of sugar. So what I'm basically saying is, I'm going ahead, and for me, normal is to bulk, to build muscle and strength on low carbs. If you're interested in finding out how I did that, check out Low Carb Cutting and Bulking. It's a program I have. It has 4 different diets, 2 for cutting, 2 for bulking. You go ahead and you click on the link. If you're watching this at Instagram, the link's in my profile. If you're watching this in YouTube, the link is below the video. And you'll also see some of the workouts I do that are not normal. Okay? Some of the weight that I'm lifting that's not normal in some of the videos on that page. And you'll also see me coming out of a bulk at 10.2% body fat, which once again is not normal. Most people have to cut to get down to 10.2% body fat. I came out of a bulk, got strong as hell, put on a lot of muscle, and I came out of the bulk at 10.2% body fat. So if you're willing to give up being normal in favor of being kind of awesome, I suggest you check out Low Carb Cutting and Bulking. Like I said, Instagram, the link's in the profile, and YouTube, the link is below this video. Don't be normal. Normal sucks. If it didn't suck, if it was awesome, it wouldn't be normal. See you guys in the next video.